Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm Sarah Troy. I am back working, and here I am having my first show this week, and unfortunately my guest couldn't make it. So here I am. I'm going to do my show. So as you know, if you've listened to any of my shows, I've just moved from Victoria and Vancouver Island to Nanaimo, Vancouver Island. I'm in my own place. Right outside my window, I have a monkey puzzle tree, and around me are trees, 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 and water. I've always said trees, breeze, and water are the things that are most important to me because they feed me, they speak to me, they lift me, they enlighten me, and I've certainly got it here. When you drive around Nanaimo, whether you're going uphill or downhill or around hill or the highway or the low way, trees surround you everywhere. When you drive along the highway, you see so many different greens, all the different color trees, and you never thought you could see so many greens. Now, of course, in Victoria, it was beautiful. We had blossom trees everywhere, and these beautiful trees that kind of had yellow leaves and soft green, apple green leaves, and really, really beautiful. Victoria is very, very beautiful. But Nanaimo has its own beauty in its different way. If you like hiking, if you like going to lakes, if you like exploring nature, then Nanaimo is the place for you. But for me, trees, breeze, and water being important, I've got water all around me within distance. I've got water just over there, a lake, a stream behind me, as I said, a monkey puzzle tree and other trees all around me here. There's plenty of breeze. It's always moving, which is wonderful. And, it's so peaceful at night. And of course, I'm in my own place for the first time in 43 years, just me. I have to say, I'm enjoying it. But I think this is something that sometimes we have to surrender on, isn't it? I wanted a place with 3 bedrooms, a guest bedroom, an office, and my bedroom. And I've got it. Now, admittedly, this room is small, so is the guest bedroom, but it's just the guest bedroom. It's only to sleep in, not to live in. My room is bigger, but I've already got the baby's cot in there and all sorts of spare furniture that I couldn't find anywhere else to put. Big enough and plenty enough for me. I'm still in the stages of unpacking and deciding what to keep and where to put things. And that could be both exasperating and joyful. So I'm exploring new places and new visions that I want to have. It is something that, I have lived in so many places. This is my 35th home. I'm not talking about the temporary places that were fully furnished or places that I stayed in temporarily. This is 35th home in 4 countries. So I'm happy to unpack, and that's it. I'm not moving anymore. And it's actually kind of every time you move somewhere, there's always that little bit of trepidation. Am I going to like it? I moved 37.5 years ago from the mainland, where I had lived all over the mainland. And I moved to Toronto, only lasted 3 months. It was just way too cold for me. And also, I was way too old for it. If I had been 40, that would have been different, but I was already in my 60s. So I moved to Victoria. I've always loved the island. It's always spoken to me. There's such a wonderful vibe here. Anybody I've interviewed that's been to the island speaks highly of it. It's got so much. And if you're just wanting to go with the vibe, with the wave, with nature, we've got it here. This is the place. No hustle and bustle. One thing about Nanaimo that's so beautiful, so few high rises, even where they're really building up box stores, it's a lot of townhouses, but not high rises. Down in Victoria, unfortunately, is getting very high risey. And so it is really nice to see houses or then townhouses rather than the big high rises. So every time you move, you never know what you're moving to. When I moved to Victoria, the first 6 months was spent at a place which was not that pleasant. The woman's used to running a boarding house and it did not feel like a home. The second place I went to, which was going to be temporarily, was the place that I stayed in for 5.5 years. That was my little Audrey, if you've heard me talk about her little, because she's 5 foot dot, feisty as hell, turning 91 in July. She misses me because we developed a really good relationship and we would go out and do things. And although there is somebody else there, they've got to know, their own rhythm and their own rhyme. And I hope that she does settle into it. Um, I love Audrey, and but the thing is, her hours were different to mine, um, and I'm going to bed earlier here. I'm getting up earlier here because I'm not being disrupted by her sleeping pattern or TV, etc. And as I said, it's kind of really nice being on my own, doing what I want to do when I want to do it. That is when my grandchildren and my children aren't around. They've eaten many a meal here already. My grandson loves being here. And now the little grandson's only one, so he's just happy wherever he can kick. But the 3-year-old loves being here, and Thursdays are mine, and Friday we go and do things together. So it's wonderful. So you never know what you're going to get. Now, I have to admit that, at first, Nanaimo, kind of downtown is in transition. It's transitioning from a place that really has not been invested in into investing a great deal more on the north side of Nanaimo rather than downtown. Downtown is beginning to wake up and realizing it needs to invest. But when you step away from downtown and just go up the road, you see some beautiful houses, old houses. This used to be a mining town over 100 years ago. And then everything moved to Victoria, and that's where the money went. And not a lot of money was invested in Nanaimo, and that's beginning to change. And it's one of the fastest growing cities in North America. So, but we still got nature. That's the important thing. So when I came here, it was, am I going to settle? Am I going to feel comfortable? Well, right off, I do. I mean, right out my window, I have my monkey puzzle tree. I have a deck that we've eaten out on often. Right now, it's full of boxes ready to be flattened. My neighbor, Guinevere, is really, really, Cynthia rather, is really, really nice. Yes, I have a road out there. It's not a main artery. It is a road that people use, but it's not noisy at all. And at night, hardly any traffic on it at all. I've met a few people because I'm in a retirement park, and they've been very friendly. And I'm going to go and take a walk and get to know some more people. So it's a new venture for me. And as I said, last one, this move took a little out of me, I have to admit. I am 69 and a half. I do have a physical condition, and it was very, very tiring. And then kind of looking at, oh, I've got to find places for that, and I've got to get rid of this, and I've got to do that. Yeah, it is a little. But so far, just driving around Nanaimo, I have kind of fallen in love with it. I'm 16 minutes away from all those big box office stores and everything else that I need. But around me, just less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes down the road, I have a shopping center with everything I could possibly need. And then 5 minutes down the road, I have a great coffee bar and downtown. 10 minutes to my daughter. And, it's all very functional, which is wonderful. And you never know quite what a place is going to speak to you about. And this place is really speaking to me. It's the vibe. I have the breeze. There's been quite a lot of wind. Um, I have the sunshine. Yes, I've had the colder days and one adjusts to that. But it's the whole vibe. It's the whole feeling of being welcomed. And nature is so welcoming. Nature is just so beautiful. And there's so much nature around here that it really does feel at home. Now, I've lived in big cities. I've lived in high rises. I've lived in many countries, concrete jungle, into beachfront, into uh, mound masses of trees. I mean, I've lived literally everywhere. Growing up in England, I had 5 homes there before we moved to South Africa. In South Africa, I had numerous homes all over the place, Cape Town and Johannesburg. Johannesburg's concrete jungle. I was young, living the fast life. I was working in restaurants. discoing at night, and museums and ballet and concerts and things like that. And but it was a concrete jungle. You lived for the the life going on. But I was 20s. Come on, that's what it's about. And when I lived in the States, I lived in people's homes, kind of as a caretaker for free board and lodging. And that was really extraordinary. That was in Washington. So Washington, D.C., not Washington, Seattle. And very enlightening, very illuminating in many, many ways. And of course, I tried to go back to the States in 2007 and live in Seattle, but that didn't work out. That was another show. I did that one. Um, I'm meant to be here in Canada. So July, I am 44 years here. And I came for a year, going back to the States. And I meant to be here. And I met my ex-husband 5.5 months in, and 3 children, divorce, cat, dog, house, you name it. Since here I am on a new adventure and a new discovery. I get a lot of discovery for the work I do, for all these wonderful, beautiful shows that I do. I get to meet an awful lot of people from all over the world, and I get to experience their experiences, which is fabulous. So I don't really need to kind of leave home to do that. Though, it is nice when you get to meet people that you've interviewed face to face. And of course, on June 6th, I'm going over to Vancouver. Now, I'm an island, Vancouver Island, and I take a ferry over to Vancouver. And my daughter and I are both in the book Mission 262. And each person's 262 women who have contributed um, a blurb of inspiration and a blurb on who they are and a saying. And it's 262 of us in this book. It's going to be at the Emmys. It's already been picked up by the Moroccan royal family, and it's already across the media in front of millions of people. On June 6th, we're having the physical party. Last week we had the online launch, and I get to actually meet some of the people that are coming in from out of town, face to face. Now, you would think that it's different, but it isn't. You've already made this vibrational connection. And so when you meet somebody, it's just putting the face to the vibe. And if you feel you already know them, and it's just being able to actually hug them, which you can't do virtually, but the vibe and the connection is already there. So I'm very excited about that, and introducing my daughter to them. She's also in the book, Tabitha Toe. So yes, it's all very exciting, all this newness. That was my 4th book. Started off with my own book, as you can see up there, my discovery, self-discovery, and then the Our Forgotten Children book, which is a book I'm still promoting a great deal on, because that is the book that I really would love you to get behind and support. It's about raising our children, what we need to do differently for the sake of our children and the future. And then the other book that's coming out, Dare to Live Fearlessly, it's out in ebook, paperback is coming, and of course the Mission 262. All of this taking place in 5 months. So it's been a busy time. And yes, I am now planning the next book, which is going to be coaching our self-discovery. And I'll have at least 20 coaches in the book, each one of them bringing about their expertise in helping people in their self-discovery of who they are, what they are, where they're going, and how to get there. Then the following book will be Our Forgotten Seniors. So I've got a lot to do. So I guess I better get unpacking. So everything new, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to try something different. I'm surrounded by greens and trees are so wise. Trees have such beautiful purpose. They are carrying so much wisdom in the wind rustling through their leaves, speaking to our psyche, it's speaking to our soul. And if we stop and listen, we will always be fed. And of course, the water is a conduit. Oh, there's a beautiful lake around the corner. I can't wait to swim in the summer. Bit cold right now, but I can't wait to go there. And then, of course, we've got the breeze, the wind, and the wind is something that always clears away the cobwebs and just refreshes and renews, right? And doesn't leave you stagnant. It's about movement, which I love. Everything about spirituality and your soul and your heart and your spirit is about fluidity and movement and immersing yourself into the journey, immersing yourself into the experience. And as I, go and unpack another box, and some of these boxes I haven't seen since 2007, because I've been in transition for quite a while now, and it's opening them up, and it's like, wow, I forgot about you. And unfortunately, there's been some things that have been broken, so I've got to go and get that Gorilla Glue and hope I can fix them. But it's exciting to find new places for them. And yes, there's going to be some things I have to let go, some things that are going to be sold on eBay, some things that are just going to be donated. And that is step by step. I'm here for good. I want to at least get my living room, etc., sorted out. Right now, it's the outdoor living anyway, because it's so nice outside. Get all these boxes flattened and got rid of. And, bit by bit, things happening. I wanted this to be a blue wall behind me, couldn't get it done in time. You never know. I may try and still do something. But I'm embraced by the greenery everywhere. Everywhere. It's just mountiful of trees. And that is just so, this is something that's really, really interesting. I'm an asthmatic, and my asthma was bad in Victoria. And I think there might have been mold in the building. It's a wood building. Since I've been coming here, I've hardly used my asthma pump, maybe once or twice a day, as opposed to 6 to 8 times a day. And the air is just such better quality. That in itself is a bonus. So, yay, yay, yay. So, allow yourself to do something different. My daughter-in-law, to be daughter-in-law, they marry in August, her mum has been in the same place for 37 years, and her daughter wants her to move closer to where they live. And her father is all game, let's do it. And the mother, but I've been here 37 years, I don't want to move. Yet it's like that renewal, kind of getting rid of what you don't need, kind of downsizing into something you can manage, being closer to your kids. I'm 10 minutes away from my daughter and my grandchildren, and I have a fantastic son-in-law. My goodness, I couldn't ask for anything better. And his family, because the way they've supported, they bought me this home, the things that he's doing to make it home. I'm very, very, very blessed. And having the kids around here for dinner, and the grandkids. As I said, my grandson loves being here, and I love him being here. So yes, I'm going to be doing my shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when he's at daycare. Thursday is my day for them. And then Friday is hopefully family day with my daughter. The weekends is kind of for them. And that's when I'll do my editing. So I have to do a lot of shows in a short period of time. So you might not get 8 a week, you might only get 6, but that's okay. It's about quality, not quantity, right? And if people have to wait a little longer to come on to do a show, that's okay as well. They will get here. And there's 3,600 shows for you. I have done 100 of them this year already, so plenty to be going on with. So I'm settling in. I'm finding places for things. I'm feeling the fresh air. I'm discovering places. As I said, locally, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes out to my daughter, 10 minutes to the ferry, as opposed to 40 minutes that I used to have, a huge amount of traffic jam, and parks everywhere, playgrounds everywhere, water parks, which my grandson's going to love, everywhere. And then, 15 minutes away, the cheap gas and the buck stores. The only trouble is the cinemas, also 15 minutes away, but it just whip up to the highway and along you go. And also, I'm closer to Parksville and Qualicum, which I haven't been to and I want to explore. So don't be afraid of change. Change is wonderful. Change is something that's exciting. And we're never too old to change. I will say physically, I don't want to move anymore. Physically, I couldn't do it anymore. And with what I've got here, I don't need to. I have a place that's manageable. I have a place that gives me everything that I need. I don't need any bigger or any better. I've got it all. So I'm extremely happy and very blessed to have all of this. So my change is going to come about just continuing to do what I'm doing with the books and branching out with the questions and questionnaires on the authors, etc. All of that stuff is going to come about. The change is happening around me, not kind of happening to me anymore. I'm settled, I'm here, and now it's ready for the next adventure. And but don't be afraid of change. It's good. At any age, it reminds us of just what opportunities and what explorations are out there still to have. Don't get complacent. Don't become too settled, because then life becomes so small and you're too afraid to branch out or meet new people or try new things, about staying youthful, about staying vibrant, about staying current, is constantly being inquisitive and exploring. And no, you don't have to go out and take on the world. It's just be willing to try something new, be willing to explore, be willing to listen, to learn, to apply, to grow, to do something different. Because quite honestly, it's really, really exciting. So, folks, don't forget new shows every week coming out every Tuesday here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Don't forget all our books, orchardofwisdom.org, our Forgotten Children book, my book, all of the other books are featured on my page or on the homepage. They're all there accessible. And let us just explore what else is out there in life. Home base, rooted. I'm like a willow tree. My tree is very, very rooted. It's very, very strong and sturdy through the life experience. I have numerous branches and they love to flow in the wind, right? Explore. I just like letting your hair down in the wind and letting it blow all the cobwebs away. Don't be afraid of change. Allow it to happen and let nature talk to you. Let it guide you. Let it show you the way. So until next week, folks, look to something you can do differently. Look to something you can embrace, some change, some exploration, just a different point of view even, and allow yourself to explore. So until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tab at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.